I really need you to call your representatives immediately. And I tell you exactly why. If you haven't already, I really don't understand why you would not call your representative immediately. Your elected officials who are supposed to help us immediately, who's supposed to protect us, who we have hired, and whom salary we are paying with our valuable tax dollars. I really don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat or voted for these parties or independent. It doesn't matter. If you are in the United States, and even abroad, if you want to support the United States, what actually is going on right now, I really need you to immediately call your representatives and to express your concern. And here's why. In this video, I'm going to explain to you what really happened since last Saturday. It's been 6 days. Tomorrow is going to be 7 days when actually Elon Musk has seized the United States Treasury. You cannot make this stuff up, guys. And people are talking about that. If this is a coup, it is a coup. Basically, he took over our government, and unlike any other YouTubers that I've seen so far here, and forget about even the mainstream media, but the independent, I don't know, people who call themselves journalists, who are not even talking about the details, what actually is going on, and bringing all of this information together. And even the representatives, they are talking about the Democrats. If he did this, why he has seized the United States Treasury? Why? We want to ask why. We are setting a actually putting a bill on the floor as to why he did this. We know why he did this, and let me explain to you why. And many YouTubers not even talking about bringing the dots together and seeing the big picture. Me as a scientist, if you don't know me, hi, Dr. Ayguen Sahin here. I am here today to bring all of this information together, connect the dots for you, seeing from the outside as an overview, and explain to you what on earth happened and why this happened and what's the purpose behind of it. And in fact, it's two separate things. So Trump and the Republicans have one agenda. I mean, Trump itself has an agenda, right? But Musk, who supposedly fulfill, according to Trump's mind, Trump's agenda, and the Republicans' Project 2025, which we will get there later, also further in other videos. If you want me to do that, subscribe, of course. But Musk has a different agenda. So, but as Musk, and if you know me, if you follow me for some time, for more than 6 years, I've been calling out this dude. I have been calling out this guy. Watch my previous videos from 6 years ago. This person is a con. He is not this genius where he presents him to be. And I am telling this as a former Harvard faculty, as well as a person who always was in the Ivy League my entire studies and career. So that's why that's not what he's doing. We all can do it. It's really not rocket science to do it. I mean, if you remember, there was always this word, that's not brain surgery, or that's not rocket science. For some reason, the brain surgery dissipated, but I am one of those. I actually did brain surgery on tiny brains of mice and rats to do brain cancer research. And yes, I have done brain cancer research. I mean, my PhD is on brain cancer, and my postdoc and faculty, what have you. In any case, what I'm saying is, he is not this genius that he makes people to believe. He is, as I keep saying in my videos in the past, he is a PR guru, nothing more than that. He is a PR genius, and that's it. He knows how to play the media, even though his cars, the Cybertrucks, glasses explode in the conferences right behind of him, he still manages to put the media in his favor. Although the Tesla's exploding, people are dying in Teslas, people get locked in, get burned into flames because of the system not working, because of the out of control Tesla cars. The Tesla sales have tanked, and he is out of control. He's out of his mind, and he is actually, let me tell you this, not a good person. Remember how he started his whole shebang. He started with humanity. I am serving humanity and the electrical cars. This is how he got his Obama on his fingers. If you remember those times when Obama get this bombardment of the entire, really push hundreds of millions of dollars initiation money from the Obama government for Tesla to develop in the United States electrical cars. That was it. And since that time, let me tell you this, don't come and think about, oh, Elon Musk is this Republican, but he got his first money for Tesla from the Obama administration for hundreds of millions of dollars. I watched it, that when Obama gave that speech and his final times in the Oval Office, he actually gave this because he wanted to believe that, Elon Musk is this guy and just brings us electrical cars in the United States. That's why he got funding. And at that time, I clearly remember, go back in those times, I clearly remember thinking like, oh my God, like we need this money for so much more in this country, but since then, he knew how to play the government. He knew how to play the system. He knew how to play the media. And since then, he got non-stop, and he presented himself and sold himself as some sort of genius. But again, as I'm telling you, as a Harvard person, an Ivy League person, that he is not genius. Absolutely not. And people in his field can attest to that. And many programmers even call him out on his own platform. And that's why it is important to understand that since then, he knew how to play the government, he knew how to play the politicians, he knew how to play the system, and he knew how to play the media, and including the foreign governments. No one ever talks about Starlink. I watched a great video. It's actually a documentary, and it's an animated documentary, how Starlink, and I remember 6 years ago, I told a friend from Canada, I said, listen to me, I said to my friend in Canada, let me tell you what this dude is up to. He wants to become the Amazon of the Starlink in the world. That's what I said 6 years ago. 6 years ago. I said, this was 2019, I said, this person wants to be the Amazon of Starlink, because the Starlink, nobody talks about this. Starlink is, why do you think he makes the rockets? Mars, are you kidding? He knows that Mars, going to Mars and all that is just like utopia. He knows that. He doesn't do the rockets because of Mars. You gotta be kidding me, right? Like, if anyone has a little bit of science knowledge, knows that. And I'm a biologist. That, don't get me started with that. Don't get me started. I am a biologist, okay? And so the reason why he puts rocket, or makes rocket and puts rocket up there, because he wants to put the Starlink system and he dominates currently the world. He put one and more and 1 and 3 and 4 for years behind the scenes. He was putting up this and developing the Starlink network. And that's why he has so much power on Ukraine. And guess what? What's happened? Watch the news. Watch the news. Guess what happened? The Ukraine is now like, oh my God. Like, we don't want to be dependent on Musk anymore. We want to somehow create our own, like, the connection, internet and all that. But what is his commercial for this? For his ad for Starlink? We want to bring internet in any rural area of this world. You gotta be kidding, right? Like, it's what I'm saying, guys. These people think that we are dumb. And we are actually scientists, okay? We know what's going on and we can read the room. And we don't forget. We don't have a fish memory. We don't forget. We watched it. It's in front of us. We read the news. We know the news. And, watch all my past videos. So Elon Musk is the definition of, okay, I don't want to go into, okay. He actually has big freaking agendas, and he is developing the Starlink behind the scenes and putting all of this and playing the media, playing this and distracting the media. In behind the scenes, he sends out the rockets up there for Starlink. And that's exactly why FAA, he is targeting FFA, and before the Trump administration get into power, he wanted to force, actually he forced FAA top official out when the Trump administration come in. Why? Because before the Trump administration, the FAA, the head, actually put a investigation into his putting up rockets without permission and without getting proper permission. And recently, before Trump took office, his rocket exploded. Was it somewhere? This was in the Turkic Caucasus island. And the rocket exploded upon takeoff, and it spread out like tons of debris into the island. And this was a big fat investigation worth situation. And that's why he wanted the FAA leadership out, because he does not want to be investigated because of his bullshit, what he's doing behind the scenes. The same applies with EPA. Why he wants the EPA to be dissolved? Because we are not even in Trump agenda yet. We are still on Elon Musk agenda, and I will connect the two. EPA, because of this explosion, and in general, they want to regulate the how he used the environment for his purpose without any checks and balances. And environment means, obviously, as a biologist, let me explain you. Environment means air pollution, soil pollution, water pollution, food pollution. It goes down to the chain, and every single piece of the chain affects us, affects the animals that we eat, affects the plants that we eat, affects all of us. And this is why, and all the forever chemicals and all of the everything that comes from these devices, and it's just out. And also, not even telling you the news about the lithium batteries in the LA fire from the Teslas. So it's insane. The damage to the environment is insane. And of course, they want to check in and to see what the hell is this guy doing. And everyone has to follow the rules, because we live on this planet Earth together, and no one has the right to damage my way of healthy living and well-being. He forget about the noises from the rockets, forget about the environmental pollution, the air pollution, everything, forget about anything. And he wants us to forget everything what he's doing. So that's why he wanted to solve the FFA and APA. That's his agenda. We are not even on Trump agenda about this yet. So, of course, the USA, right, USAID, they wanted to solve this, but they don't even know idea, because it says, oh, they spent so much money on this, which it's literally yesterday, or was it this morning, it came out, it was actually approved by the USAID office that Ivanka Trump had $11,000 gotten from the USAID to unknown White House event. It actually, in the checks and books, it's in there, but it was not disclosed why, which White House event it was. And what it's actually written, the document says CDs, videotapes, recording machines, and CDs, and what have, like something like this, a video recording type of thing. $11,000 coming from the USAID office, approved. The receipt is there for an undisclosed, unknown White House event. Okay? Unknown, whatever the hell that means. And why on earth also would go the money that is designed to support the health, the global health, to be given into a White House event for devices and CDs and videotapes and video recording devices? Like, what is this? Then we will talk about in a second the Department of Treasury and the Department of Education, why this is so important that they want to dissolve these or seize, already have seized the Department of Treasury, then they're attacking Department of Education. I'll tell you exactly why. The FBI, so now they also have it in hand and wanted to solve, and already dissolving, the FBI, the CIA, and the DOJ. And today there was the news for Bondi, the newest Trump administration, DOJ, Department of DOJ leader Bondi, who was Senator, that's a great question, Senator. Of course, I will follow the law, Senator. I will follow the law, Senator. Senator, I will follow the law. And today, what did she do? She did. There was a task force in the Department of Justice to seize Russian oligarchs' assets. There was a task force inside the DOJ to analyze and to seize Russian oligarchs' assets. She dissolved this task force inside the DOJ today. And where will the money, the Russian oligarchs, we are talking about the Russian oligarchs' money. You think about how much money that is, these assets. Where will the money go? Listen, in politics and in these billionaires and trillionaires and whatever, you always have to follow the money. This is the answer, including the Justice Department, like the justices, right? The Supreme Court. Follow the money every time. That's the answer. Where will this money go from the oligarchs' assets, from the Russian oligarchs? So she dissolved. So DOJ, CIA, FBI will be dissolved, are already being dissolved, right? And it's now currently being blocked that the FBI and CIA agents' names to be putting out there. Like, I don't understand, like any American who loves to be an American and love this country is not afraid of the national security threats, what's going on here. How can we deal with that? I mean, I don't understand how people are not afraid and sitting on the chair and not being able to relax. I don't understand, because the national security is on top of everything. The national security, because if we cannot protect our country and the people who live in the country and want to have a peaceful life, it's out of the toilet, like it's out of the window right now. That's why I said we must call our representatives immediately. And we know Democrats, we cannot, like, we need to know why. Stop this. Stop this. You gotta act. Everyone must be outraged right now. Everyone should be freaking out. Everyone on the YouTube, all YouTubers. I don't care if you're a popcorn YouTuber. I don't care if you're a pop culture YouTuber talking nonsense about Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds. I don't care. Every single YouTuber must talk about this stuff. This is serious, guys. This is unbelievably serious. We will talk about the seriousness also with the Department of Treasury. Elon Musk on Saturday night, last week, on Saturday night, look at the timing, after Trump administration sworn in and everyone got in and everyone did all the sessions, the representatives did their sessions, and then they closed on Friday and went all to their own districts. They went to the districts. So basically, Washington was empty. Get this, Washington was empty. That's when Elon Musk took 4 or 5 young men from his picked from his own companies. Neuralink, don't even get started with Neuralink. Oh my God, like, oh my God. Neuralink, SpaceX, what have you, Starlink, he got these 19 to 25-year-olds, young men, college students, together and went to the Department of Treasury in the top secure building. Like, even people commented on other channels and saying, listen, I used to work in this top, even not as top of the Department of Treasury type of top secured places, and there is barricades after barricades after barricades after barricades. And years ago, that some person said, there was some person was trying to drive through the gates, and then suddenly, like, a shield went out from the ground, and that car was smashed to the ground. So there is this unbelievable top security. When they came in, that guards there said, or the official there said, I cannot let you in. Mind you, none of them have national security clearance. None of them has security clearance. And I don't care when people are saying, oh, does he have a like the media, right? The mainstream media and the YouTubers and the representatives. Did he have the clearance? Does he have a clearance? No, he obviously doesn't have the clearance, because when we talk with people who actually are officials in the government, they have to go through healthcare check, the background check, and I don't know, other tests. They have to go through all of this. It's not like, how many days have been passed when Trump got in? He hasn't cleared anything. That's not even a time for that. How can people still think and say, did he have a clearance? Like, no, of course not. Not these young people from his own company that night, obviously. Of course they don't have clearance. Like, what are we talking about here? It's just like that. We don't have the time. That's what I'm saying, guys. Our data. So they break in, and then when this official said, no, you can't get in, I'm not going to let you in, the recently approved, the Department of Treasury leader, whatever has been called, that person gave access, called in and said, he needs to get in. He let them in. The recently approved Department of Treasury leader called in and said, here, they let them in. And guess what they did? Immediately, they had access. That's what I'm saying, guys. Immediately. And it's already 6 days past. Guys, I can't make this stuff up. I don't know why people are not freaking out. I literally, for 2 days, I cried. I literally cried. I was devastated, mortified. I don't understand why people are so relaxed about this. Guys, this is serious stuff. As you all know me, people who know me know that I am a cybersecurity freak. I'm a data safety security freak. I am in the healthcare and also as I was working in a laboratory half of my life or quarter of my life inside of the laboratories, dealing with patient tissues, patient blood, patient what have you, the top security that we had to apply for data privacy is off the scale. The training and the mentality and the ethics that I have developed, like, and now for the last 12 years working on my cancer nonprofit with patients and running an organization with legal consequences, I mean, I'm out of my mind. Plus my own safety, my own security, it's just off the scale, and I don't understand. I am not surprised why people in America are so relaxed about this. If that happened in Europe, if that happened in Europe, and I'm European, and I will get to that, I'm German. We will talk about the Nazi salute, okay? We will talk about this. I'm German, and I will talk about this. I actually put it the number one top here. I wanted to start there, but we started here, Elon Musk agenda first. So, and that's how you understand this is the made up stuff, right? Because in the Obama time, he knew how to get the money. So he is like, he has no spine, basically. He is a narcissist who wants to have power, and we'll get to that, two narcissists. And again, I don't give a crap about which party, and people who know me know that. I always talk the truth, nothing but the truth. I don't give a crap about who's which party and who's what. I don't care. I really don't care. And so when our data, they had immediate access to our data, the most sensitive data, which is our social security numbers, our full names, addresses, where we live, telephone numbers, email addresses, health records, all of this. I mean, guys, I just cannot make the... I am freaking out. Why are people not freaking out? This is serious stuff, guys. Let me tell you why I'm back. Look, do you see this? Do you see this? Do you see the surgery that I had from here to here? Do you see here? The surgery here? And still, if you notice sometime, I'm like, here and here, all the left side. I had a severe accident because, tell me why? Because I supposed to bring some very sensitive data to somewhere, to an office, to an official office. And they are like, oh, send me via email. No, I'm not going to send this via email. Are you kidding? I had to educate during the pandemic where everything suddenly was online. I had to educate the city officials and the staff about cybersecurity. You gotta be kidding me, right? They wanted to do city, like, sensitive constituent business phones with Google Voice. You're kidding, right? I'm like, what? I'm not gonna talk to you with Google Voice. You're kidding, right? I'm talking with the government. Google Voice? And I had to educate them, like, listen, they're listening to everything what we are doing. You're kidding. They're like, oh, you're right. Really? Is that so? So, yes. I had to set up and find email providers with password encryption and what have you to even send off some of the sensitive data, not all of them. And I was rushing, was Friday or something, or really, no, not Friday, Thursday or so, about to close, and I had to really rush from one end to the other, and really was going, and I was biking. And then I had this, never in my life, and I'm a former mountain bike racer, so I'm a professional biker, so I know how to bike. And for the first time in my life, I have never had this, anything like this happen before. I was literally I flew over my bike on the asphalt. This popped up open, and I got a very, very unbreakable bone broken, which usually athletes get to break, and wasn't even detected. And I had to really guide the physicians and the orthopedists of this, and there's something off here. I have tinglings. Something is off. And they did over and over some tests and what have you, CTs. They were just like, X-ray, you cannot see in an X-ray. I said, listen, you got to do something, a CT or something. And then it was found out in CT that I had my very rare bone to break broken. And so this was popped open. So I was 4 days in ER. Both of my hands, do you see this? Like these things here? The side, that here, and this, all of this, and here. It's because I did not want to share the most sensitive data via email. So I brought them over in person to them. And now this, and by the way, I'm still suffering, and this hand is still not full functioning. And so and now this, can you understand my frustration with this? I almost died. And thank goodness that it happened right in front of the firefighter station. The firefighters were in front of the fire station sitting. They told me, they watched me flew like this, bomb on the ground, on the asphalt. They were the first responders. This popped open like blood like crazy. As you can understand, this is like a very thin skin here and tissue. So it like popped open like, and fresh blood was like spreading everywhere. And so they were the first responders. If that was somewhere else, I would have been dead by now. And because I lost so much blood. And so what I'm saying is, this is serious stuff, guys. These people meaning Elon Musk and his college students, have our data. And why do I say immediately? And the Democrats like, oh, why he did this, and we need to stop him, stop Elon Musk. Like, what? He already copied that night the data. What are we talking about? He has our data copied already. And what is the report? They are feeding our data. Oh my God, because I am the specialist of responsible AI. And watch this space, because I will make announcements about that. Responsible AI strategist, and as well as a freak of responsible AI. And I teach how to do that. And so also in companies and corporation, what have you, and also personal use. But you feeding AI with our most sensitive data, our identity. And if one day they don't feed the DNA genetic data into AI, oh my God, I shouldn't have said that. Ugh, I shouldn't have said that, but I said it. Then this is our identity, guys. And if you are not familiar with AI's consequences, or what is AI doing and how illegal, this is all illegal, by the way. Let me be clear. This is illegal. And this is why today the judge temporarily blocked the access of Elon Musk and his friends of any further data. But he already got in there. He already has the data. I don't know how many million copies he did of this. And where did the data go? Where did he put the data? Where he will give the data to? And that brings me to China and his other friends of other countries. Why? I talked about this before in my videos about Elon Musk. China, if you don't know this, know this. And I talked about this years ago. China has severe leverage over Elon Musk. Elon Musk's Tesla factory is in China. He has a Edison factory in China. China has severe leverage over Elon Musk. And so also other countries, and you know he's friends with Putin. And nobody knows. I didn't know. Does anyone talk about Erdogan? Does anyone talk about Erdogan? He met with Erdogan too. How did I know? When I went to Turkey, I saw this in the news. Before there was like this non-stop, they giving this in the television as this was something amazing. Elon Musk met with Erdogan too. It's not just China, it's not just Putin, it's Erdogan as well. And so and I said this also when he was acquiring Twitter, I quit Twitter immediately. Right before he purchased this, during the back and forth, go and watch all of this. I made videos about that. Why? I have even a video called Why I Quit Twitter. And there's even one in my membership too. And so why? Because I knew, and by the way, if you don't know me, I can see the future and I can predict things, and everything I say is happening. So, and that's why these videos are a record for me, okay? Documentary. So at that time when Elon Musk had this back and forth, the Twitter purchases, I said then and immediately quit Twitter. Because I knew that once he purchased it, our data will be straight to China. I knew it. I did. And guess what happened? Shortly thereafter, basically, and I want to make a video on that, so I had some, I actually purposefully wrote out researched the dates, went back, when did the purchase happen and when that data breach, actually the data breach happened in NX. This was literally a few months later. So he purchased it, was it in June or something? June or July? And then in September or so, it got hacked into it. Twitter got hacked into it pretty much straight away. I said it. I knew it. I said it. I quit it before then. And it happened. And this is and people, guys, I don't understand how people just don't remember things. I mean, I don't understand. If you don't know history, just why do you forget just yesterday what happened? This happened. Go and research the news. When was Twitter purchased? When did the first the first the data hacking happened on X. Just search it. It's on Google. Search it. So this is exactly what's happening here. What will happen with our data? You gotta immediately call your representatives. I don't think people understand the severity of this. I seriously don't think the representatives who are so outdated, have zero clue about technology. How do we know that they have zero clue about technology? Because when they, I mean, just go back and watch when Zuckerberg was in for 2-3 days or so in the Senate and was for the hearing and was questioned. And the dumbest of the dumbest, because the problem was the security and the privacy and data privacy. And instead of pushing him like crazy, as the European Union did, because right after us, he went to European Union for hearing and they bombard him because they know what they're talking about. Here are like, I don't know, seniors have zero clue, or like I wouldn't, the over whatever committee is that, I don't know, is that the I don't know, it's not the oversight, I think, I don't know what committee that was in, but in any case, the seniors, they have no clue about technology, no clue about how this works, no clue about cybersecurity, no clue about how technology works, and they're asking about Facebook app, and if I click here, what will happen when I click there, and if can this person write this to me, and stuff like that. So basically, if the Senate and if the House have zero clue about technology, how technology works, we have to tell our representatives how technology works, and that stuff is serious. I mean, it's already gone. Our data is already copied. We cannot wait and like see and sit. Everyone must be outraged by this. We cannot say, why did this happen? How did this happen? Is this illegal? It is illegal. Does he have security clearance? He doesn't have clearance. Is this illegal? It is illegal. Clearance? No clearance. Why did he do this? Because he has his agenda. We must stop him immediately. Our data is in his hand. And including on his little friends, it's not about the age. I have on my team young people. That's not about that. What happens is who these people are. And if you follow the news, it's literally this 25-year-old person literally today actually quit Doge. Why? Because it turns out his information was made public. He's old, not really old, but recent, from 6 months ago or so. His information and his way of thinking, and he was openly a racist and openly pretty much a Nazi. And maybe this is why he was so favored by Elon Musk, who, yes, did a Nazi salute. And I am a German. This is a Nazi salute. And that's why he got this Nazi friends, young, racist, in Doge, and they did illegal activity, and they have our data, our most sensitive identities. Even when the judge today currently temporarily blocked access, they have our data. The other person, the other college student, today it came out in the news that This person was formerly working in a cybersecurity, guys, I can't make this stuff up, was formerly working in a cybersecurity company. And after investigation, they found out that he was hacking into the system data and sharing that information to a company that was totally their competitors. And he was fired after that investigation. That is another Doge person who actually got our data. Criminals, basically. What are we talking about? Criminals. What is this? So someone hacks into a company, a cybersecurity company's entire system, leaks this information to a competitor company, and after the internal investigation, they found out, fired this guy, and this guy has our data. Imagine this. Imagine this, guys. And now, obviously, we know that Elon Musk is the gaslighter and the bully of all. And he keeps lying on his platform. He makes stuff up. It doesn't even belong to any brain. Forget about science. And he gaslights his narcissist, his follower, because I made videos about that. Narcissists need these followers because they are so insecure that they only can survive with these type of followers, like cult leaders. The narcissists equal as cult leaders who require a group of people who follow them because themselves inside are deeply insecure. This is why, I mean, if you know and if you see his action, we can do another analysis, psychological behavior analysis. And if you want me to, subscribe and let me know how he acted, right? His action, his behavior. This is an unhealed childhood, full stop. This is not be you and be happy, the inner child. No, that behavior is a full-blown unhealed childhood trauma. And he mentioned that before a million times. Putin is like a victimhood. I was bullied in school. Who wasn't bullied in school? I was bullied in school, but sorry, I didn't give a crap. It's horrible, but I don't care. I went to Harvard, so whatever. All of in the Ivy Leagues. And because it was so interesting to see that after all the bullying with all my colleagues, my bosses, what have you, this mobbing and all that stuff, it was so funny later on when they look at where I am at right now. And we all were bullied. Pretty much all of us were bullied. The problem is how your character develops with that, and the family is important. How the family gives you values, and this is how you survive in life. I'm so grateful for my mom and dad, how they raised us. And so when you look at Elon Musk's father, who make babies from his of his stepdaughter, he has 2 babies from his stepdaughter. This is a father of Elon Musk. What are we talking about here? This person has our data. That's the bottom line. And this is emergency, like alarm bells please call your representatives immediately. I tried to call my representative because when you say, oh, did you do this then? Yes, I did. I actually picked the phone. I looked it up for the first time. I was like, I mean, first I'm not, I called another senator of our, or of my state, uh, in the beginning, like this was like 10 years ago, it was yeah, in the 2014, when I went to Washington D.C. for, because our cancer organization was brand new. So when I was invited to a large nationwide cancer conference and representing our organization, so I wanted to meet with the senator, so that I explain our mission to them. So but this was another senator, but that was first time I called ever a senator. But this was the first of that other senator to get started with, but I couldn't reach them. The office like of like voice box, and literally this morning then I saw that there was like in the newspaper that all the lines were blocked, all the lines were busy, and people couldn't reach the elected officials and what have you. So then, like, okay, this then I wasn't just me. So basically, we have to keep trying. We have to keep calling. And as you know me, I stood up for people during the pandemic, during the vaccines time, who couldn't get the mRNA vaccine, and I was and actually was really pushing the FDA, the government, and really people were just following me like crazy, representing millions of Americans who couldn't get the mRNA vaccine, and was pushing more towards protein-based vaccine because of people's genetic and maybe other diseases, allergies, what have you, and pretty much also didn't want to have the mRNA vaccine. And so, and I had to have an FDA talk. This was distributed all live on FDA. It's on YouTube, it's on my YouTube channel as well, so you can definitely watch that. And that's after that, really several months later, the protein-based vaccine was approved. And so I have all sorts of like videos on that, the entire documentary. Watch it. It's on the playlist called COVID-19 and Novavax vaccine. So what I'm saying is, I am doing nonstop these activism and actually supporting and helping the humanity, helping Americans who haven't a voice, can actually have a voice. And I need you actually too to do something, not just sitting and watching, but I understanding that this is serious stuff, okay? This is serious stuff. So Department of Treasury, who has $6.8 trillion currently, okay, is running with $6.8 trillion of the United States budget, okay? And so what is actually happening here on the Trump side, and what's going on, why the Department of Treasury is being attacked? So from the coming back to the Elon Musk side, he has leverage. Basically, he will have the data on his ends, and he wants to do whatever the heck he wants. He doesn't want a government with rules. He doesn't want any rules to apply not only to him. Okay, so he doesn't want the APA and the FAA to just, and no oversight, no nothing. He wants to do whatever the heck he wants. It doesn't work that way. No one is above the law, and I encourage everyone, regardless of your Democrat and Republican voters, you must call representatives, because if we hold everyone, block, hinder all of this, what's happening right now, we must hinder what's happening. So if you are a caring Republican too, you need to call your representative too and say that my assets, everything I got cannot be in the hands of a billionaire who has no business in my business, who has no business in my own life. I don't give a crap. He is not allowed. My data was secure in the United States Treasury. Now it is in who knows whose hands. Might be in China, might be in Russia, might be in Iran, who knows. And you need to, as a Republican and as a Democrat, call your representatives, and you need to force them and say, you got to block everything what you got in the House, in the Senate, because we cannot let this happen. You must hold them accountable. You must have them return every single data they got. Everything. Seize his home, seize his companies, seize his people that he knows. I mean, hello, he's not the only one IT guy. Are you kidding me? Even I had friends. I mean, I have tons of IT engineer, like computer engineer friends, tons of them. And so what? Is it, of course they are geniusness, also just, you don't have to be genius. There are people who can, I mean, what is the CIA there for, right? Like, in the FBI, like, just sees every single action he took, and also sees everything he got, so that he doesn't have it. You need to tell this to your representatives. And what he did was, what the reports are saying is that he actually, with his people that he got with him, the college students, one of them being racist and the other one being criminally, sharing the or unethically sharing the data to a hacking into his own company and providing that information to a competitor company. And with all this together, they are using codes and apply them into some systems, like literally playing with our data and using the systems, which was reported today using Microsoft. Guys, I cannot make this stuff up. This is another level, guys. Using Microsoft cyberspace, what have you, and using that and putting some coding into the data. And even if it's reported that they put these coding so that after deleting stuff, which they said they deleted stuff, you cannot track what they deleted and how they deleted it. What's the code to delete that? So without tracking. Guys, this stuff is serious. I cannot emphasize this enough. They are coding some shit, and also some stuff that you cannot track it, what they're doing. So this is beyond serious, and they're playing with that. They're playing with our life's data, our identity data. How more can you not waking up to this? Then coming here to this side again, yes, he did a Nazi salute. Ende der Geschichte. He did a Nazi salute. Let's talk of Project 25. The Project 25, we'll talk more about. If you want me to dive deeper into, I got some documentation about healthcare. So we will go through that. Let me tell you, let me know if you want me to explain and analyze this together with you, okay? And so subscribe if you haven't already, so we'll dive deeper into that later. So with the Project 25, it's the agenda not only to push, yes, I looked just a little bit about it, the social norms, and also the, promoting, okay, healthcare stuff and social norm stuff and a lot of other things. But the most important part here is, and that was watched, I don't like her at all, but currently she is raising a lot of alarms that many people don't, and she is freaked out as much as I am. I don't know as much, but still freaked out. And so she's talking a lot about important stuff, and she's kind of the source that tells the people what's going on behind the scenes, and or not behind the scenes, but what's going on in the House, etc., in the Senate, what have you. So there's one video where she said that there is a memo leaked from the Republican Party that in 2017 they actually did a severe, like this, the tax cut, and the big tax cut was only lasting until 2025. It's ending. It's ending in 2025. That tax cut. Do you see why the Project 2025 has been born? Because that tax cut ends in 2025. So in order to give the continuation of that tax cut from 2017, in order to give the tax cut to Trump companies, Musk companies, other billionaires, that's why Amazon, Bezos, Zuckerberg, Google CEO, and others were behind of Trump. Why? Because they know they will get the tax cut. They know they will walk scot-free with everything. And who will fund the tax cut? Because there is, United States has currently 1.9 trillion deficit, but they want also to fund the U.S. Sovereign Wealth Fund, the SWF, the U.S. Sovereign Wealth Fund. And as of February 3rd, today is February 7th, as of February 3rd, research, and you will see that they wrote an executive order for the development of the U.S. Sovereign Wealth Fund. This other countries have sovereign wealth fund too, like Kuwait, like Norway, like China, like Saudi Arabia. And what it is usually they have these assets in these sovereign wealth funds so that they can protect their assets like oil or the minerals, the natural resources. That's in these sovereign wealth funds. This is how they protect their assets. And so the United States has in some states already these sovereign wealth funds, but he wants to create this United States sovereign wealth fund with executive order on February 3rd. However, because there is a $1.9 trillion deficit, he needs to fund this somehow. And we still don't know. Listen, again, as I said, follow the money. When we have a fund like this, and no wonder he wants to go out with Greenland and the Arctic and what have you, because he knows we need a lot of minerals and natural resources. I talked a million times about Antarctics and what's going on there. Nobody, I don't even know what people will watch documentaries. I watched it, I don't know, 10 years ago? What's going on 8 years ago or something? What's going on in the Arctics? I have to make another video on that, and that's why I wasn't surprised about Greenland. And the US Sovereign Wealth Fund. There will be a lot of like this oil and the minerals and what have you, all in there. So how he wants to fund this. The Sovereign Wealth Fund needs to be funded because we have a 1.9 trillion deficit. He wants to fund this with the tariffs. This was his plan, to fund this with tariffs. But because the tariffs went down to the toilet, the plan didn't work at all, and he got like backlash, right? From Mexico, from Canada, which obviously Musk benefits for his companies, and they slapped back. Then the tariffs didn't work. Boop, boop. So now we have to attack the Department of Treasury, which has a money of $6.8 trillion of the entire US government. So this is how the money can be, and that's why they are cutting the USAID. Then they will 100 million % cut the Medicaid, Medicare, which is important healthcare for our elderlies and the people in need who need healthcare. And you know me as in a person who works with patients and people who need healthcare, because people are dying and you need healthcare. So I almost died. I was after this, right? Because of the cybersecurity, data privacy, what happened to me, I was 4 days in emergency, and since then, because I had a severe trauma on my head, now I know why I had all this severe health issues, severe inflammation all over my body, severe, I mean, I can't even tell you, I died almost, like, in the aftermath for years. That's how I built the Scientist Total Health Transformation Protocol, because I had to save my own life, because for 1.5 years, I would go every 3 days per week, 3 days per week to the hospital for all sorts of treatments. In the aftermath, I'm still like, I had to save my own life. So this is critical. Medicare, Medicaid, healthcare for everyone. This is critical. So when I cannot bring a patient from one hospital to the other one because of the healthcare and they cannot afford it, the proton therapy, radiotherapy, chemotherapy, what have you. I mean, you got to be kidding me, right? We need this. The NIH, blocking NIH, blocking CDC, blocking the FDA. Where on the freaking earth is the cancer research money going? How can we develop the people on the overseas? I am the global cancer organization. I tell sometimes like physicians overseas, oncologists, by the way, here this is drugs are approved. I not often, I mean very frequently tell the news of the approvals and stuff to not only to the physicians, oncologists overseas, but also the public, because luckily I speak multiple languages. So I explain to some countries and tell them, listen, this drug has immediate has a, I don't know, high blood pressure drug has been found has cancer, is causing cancer. So because one of this dangerous contamination of some substances, and then I tell this to them and they're like, oh my God, nobody tells them, because even the entire healthcare system doesn't even know the news yet. So our research and funding for research is critical, not only if people for us here in the United States, but also people worldwide. If you don't care about people in the world, then I don't know why you're here on this earth. We will talk about spirituality later, but this is critical. Let me tell you one sentence and I will go to make another video on that, so that this is on the record, that people don't copy people, okay? Where on earth are the spiritual people? No one, as always, talk about this. Where are the spiritual YouTubers, right? Like the fake spiritual taroters, astrologers. Where are you? You need to talk about this too, but they don't, because it's their pockets what's important. This is a humanitarian crisis. This is an existential crisis what we are dealing with right now. The American security and the safety of Americans and the people worldwide, because of the United States, and our national security is in stake here, and our individuals. We are screwed, guys. I just cannot explain it for any other than this. We are deeply screwed, guys. We must call the representative to stop this, and you cannot hesitate. They are not above us. We paying them their salary. We paying their salary. You never should ever be hesitant to call your representatives. If they make like this sound of like they're popular or what have you, screw that. You are getting my salary through me. I elected you there. You can be a popular person, you can be a nobody next day, because I can vote you out if you don't protect me. You are there not for popular reasons, to protect us, the community who vote you there. You need to understand that, and you need to make sure they know that and remind them of that. Talking is good. We need action. This is not a time to talk. I'm telling you, this is not the time to talk. We need immediate action. This is that serious. This is that of a crisis. So they need to get this sovereign wealth fund somehow fed. But they can only do that because it creates the tax cuts The tariffs didn't work out as they planned. And the way they do that, they do that quick, 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 quick. But the same way now Democrats, and we need the Republicans do that too, because there are several Democrats and Republicans who are not liking this either. And you need to find these Republicans. We need three Republicans in the House. 3 Republicans in the House who say no to this shebang, this bullshit, this serious stuff. If they love the country, if they love the people in this country, and if they love their constituents who vote them there, they need to stop this together with Democrats. This is not the time. Seriously, guys, I cannot emphasize this enough. This is not the time of Democrats and Republicans. This is a national security matter, and this is a personal security matter. It is that serious, guys. Then, mind you, I put this in gigantic notes here. Mind you, Musk has $15 billion of government contracts. One more time. Elon Musk has $15 billion of government contracts for his companies. Think about that. He needs to get, and by the way, if you don't know, but if you don't follow the finances and all that, Elon Musk doesn't get salary. He gets shares. This is how he enriches himself. Because if he will get salary, he have to pay taxes. But he gets shares instead. But the shares are tanking. You got it? The shares are tanking. He is out of control. He's absolutely nuts. He is going nuts. He is nuts, and he will continue to get even further nuts. He needs the government money because further he needs the money. He already needs it. He needs it further. Why? Because his Tesla shares are tanking, are down even further since Trump took office and this whole thing happened. Even Trump supporters are in shock, and they should be. It's not again about Democrats and Republicans. I have to emphasize this one more time. It is a national security matter. It's a national crisis, and it is a personal security matter and crisis. We need to demand our data to be stopped, and all, it has to be retrieved from him. We cannot wait to the judge and this and this and this. They have the data on since Saturday. He made copies of this. And then they want to dismantle IRS, the Internal Revenue Service, and they will want to create an External Revenue Service. Where will the money go? This is a funnel, nothing more than a funnel. Okay? And they have to cut all of this that protects all Americans, supports all Americans. We are all one. We are Americans. We are Americans, and we are literally being smashed to the ground for their pockets by endangering us, feeding our most sensitive data to an AI. And after this, There's no one can stop that. Where will our data go? Will they go to China? Will they go to Iran? Will they go to Russia? Will they go to Turkey? Where will our data go? Again, no one talks about Erdogan and Musk relationship. But I know, because I saw it. Again, February as of 20 until February 24th, the judge temporarily halted Musk. Actually, no. On February 24th, there will be a hearing for the judge about Musk's illegal activities, whether or not it's illegal, what have you. February 24th, mark that. And this will, the final thing I will talk about is mark your calendars. March 14. This is when, this is most critical, guys. This is what I want you to do. March 14 is the government shutdown deadline. They need to have the money to keep the government open. What we can do right now is put pressure on our representatives to do everything they possibly can to shut down, shut off, hold, whatever they can, not to let any of this pass. Even in my opinion, if this means to shut down the government because it's already shutting down, people are being laid off, people are being forced to quit, people are being bought off illegally. There's a lot of illegal stuff going on, guys. Always stay on the right side of the road. This is, do you know, if you follow me, I keep saying it pretty much in all of my videos. Always stay on the right side of the road. This is now the time. This is one of the most important times. Are you going to be on the right side of the history? Or are you going to be together with this illegal activity? Always stay on the right side of the road, on the earth, on this law of the land, as well as law of the heavens, law of the universe. You need to, this is the time to show where are you standing? What side are you standing? Are you standing on the right side of the road and to insist on the law of the land and law of the heavens? This is the time to show it. Push your representatives, senators, and your House representatives of your district for March 14. Make them right now block everything in the House and the Senate. This cannot be pursued. This should not be pursued. This is that serious. This is that serious. In national security, national crises of America, of Americans, as well as our personal crises. And this is very, very dangerous. This has severe consequences going forward. Let me tell you that. Once is in the AI loaded, and once they code some shit that we don't even know what they're coding, and they don't even know what they're coding, and playing around. They're literally playing around with our data, with some coding, with our data, most sensitive data, which I almost died for to protect. This is that serious, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if you want me to any of these items diving deeper, and let me know if you want me to continue to call these people out, show what's going on right now, and how you can be part of staying on the right side of the road and pushing our representatives, Republicans and Democrats alike, because this is not a matter of party. This is America, and no one in America can be a Nazi. And you freaking Elon Musk, stay out of my also country of Germany. You have absolutely no business in Germany and in European Union, and I'm so happy that the European Union is standing up, standing strong, and thank you Canada, Canadians and Australians who are standing with us in this crisis of America. Go European Union, this is now the time to show who you are, how strong you are. We are rooting for you, you root for us, and let's help these people, the Nazis, not pursue and not win, because this isn't only America, this is a democracy, and this is a time where we can absolutely not allow any more in any shape or form any Nazis in this world. Full stop. And I end you there, and thank you for your support. Like, subscribe, share this video, and let me know in the comments, and please immediately call your representatives. Good night, guys.